When setting the defaults for a given job, you may select an edge banding laminate setup to be applied to the various parts of all cabinets within the job. Edge banding setups may be changed by pressing the Browse button, where you will be taken to a screen that displays whatever setups you have previously defined. Each of these setups defines which parts will be edge banded, which sides of each parts will be edge banded, the price of all edge banding that is applied, and what material and color each edge banded side will consist of. Let's look at one of these setups to see how edge banding in laminate is defined. From the Setup menu at the opening screen, we select Material and Hardware followed by Edge Banding in Laminate, where we will be taken to a screen that describes our currently loaded edge banding in laminate setup. By pressing the grid table icon, we can see at a glance which of our parts are edge banded, the cost of the edge banding, its thickness, which cabinets are affected, and which edges are edge banded. In addition, we can inspect which sides, if any, of each part are laminated. In this table, you will notice that our edge banding for our shelves is defined for wall and tall cabinets, but not for base cabinets. Let's create a new edge banding definition that includes only the shelves made within wall cabinets. For wall and tall cabinets, we have already defined all four sides to be edge banded, but because we want only one side to be edge banded for our base cabinet shelves, we will make a new definition for this part. Notice that we currently have 18 records in this edge banding setup file. To create a new record, we press the New button, which copies the definition we were looking at into a new record, which will now give us 19 records altogether. We select a part to define. I'll select Shelves, and then check the appropriate cabinets that will be affected, in this case, base cabinets only. And then we select which edges we want edge banded. We can change the material used for this edge banding if we want, as well as the lead in and lead out distances. Lead in and lead out distances are those lengths that are wasted material when feeding your part and when the part exits the edge bander. We can also assign which sides are being laminated for this particular part, as well as what material is being used. You'll notice that we are not laminating in this example, but we could go ahead and fill that information in if we wanted to. The extra laminate overlap is that laminate which will hang over each side. So in the case of a 1-inch overlap, for example, it will require a 7x7 square piece of laminate to cover a 5x5-inch part. Now, when we look at our summary screen and sort the definitions by part, we see two edge banding definitions for shelves, one for wall and tall cabinets and the other for base cabinets by themselves. When we obtain a cutlass report, we can select to have the edge banding subtracted automatically, where there will exist a note on the cutlass itself informing the reader that edge banding has already been subtracted from these parts. Selecting not to subtract edge banding in cutlass reports will generate the finished dimensions of all parts to include the edge banding of those parts. In either case, an edge banding summary will be displayed, which is also used by Cabinet Pro when generating an invoice. If a different edge banding setup is applied to this job, then the cutlass will be automatically adjusted to reflect the new edge banding material, thickness, and specific parts defined to have edge banding applied. In addition, all CNC machining is automatically adjusted to compensate for whatever edge banding is currently present.